It's Hans. Welcome back. We've got another review for you this week. I told you and I promised you last week that we had something special to talk about on our next video. And y'all, it's been hard to keep a secret for a long time, but we have been testing the brand new Pulsar Merger XL50 LRF. They may call it the LRF XL50, but these are the 1024 resolution thermal binoculars that was announced at SHOT Show 2023. We've had them for, a few weeks. We've been testing them. We did our show on the Late Night Vision Show podcast that you can check out as well. That just came out, episode 266, if you want a more in-depth review, more than this one. As always, though, we're going to show you a bunch of video through the optic. We're going to be running down the specs. Got my list right here, my piece of paper right here ready to go. We talk about our likes and dislikes, who it might be good for, everything about it in a shorter, condensed version. Again, if you want the longer version, the Late Night Vision Show podcast, you can find it on YouTube, episode 266. I'll even link to it down in the description of this video. So, also, real quick, if you want to buy an optic, thermal or night vision, Outdoor Legacy Gear, 877-350-1818, outdoorlegacygear.com. You can call and talk to me. That's my full-time job. I'm the luckiest man in the world. I get to hunt, play with all this cool stuff, hunt every night, and during the day, get to sell thermal and night vision optics, and really just here to take your questions for anybody that's having trouble deciding, which it can be with all the optics now that are on the market. But here to help you out for sure, 877-350-1818, outdoorlegacygear.com. Let us talk about the Merger LRF XL50. Now, the Merger design is not brand new. As y'all remember, we've reviewed here not too long ago, it seems like, the Merger XP50. Those are the 640 resolution thermal binoculars. And before that, this form factor replaced the, I say the old, but the Pulsar Accolade, which was also a binocular, a heavier, more blockier design. These, look like, if you see these on a desk and you don't know any better, this looks like a regular set of binoculars, daytime optical binoculars. They look really close, very similar. The new design looks a lot better than the old Accolade design. So people have really clinging on to that. They really like that a lot as far as what it looks like. It does look a lot cooler than the old blocky set of Accolades. Anyway, so the XL50's 1040 resolution. Anytime you get to, we don't get to talk about stuff that often that's over 640 resolution. There's only one other optic on this channel that we've had a chance to review that was over 640. So 1024 resolution. This is the first optic by Pulsar that is beyond 640 resolution. I promise you y'all, it's not the last. This is, I think I did on last week's show, I said that this is the future. Higher than 640 resolution, ultra high resolution is definitely the future as well. So let's run down the specs. We'll get to some video. We'll try to answer all your questions as we go through it. And again, if you have more questions, you can always comment to this video. All right, we're going to start off with the name one more time. The Pulsar Merger LRF XL50, the price on it, $7,999, just under $8,000. It's a 1024 by 768 high definition resolution thermal core. So it is 1024 resolution. 12 micron. It's got a minus 40 millikelvin rated thermal sensor, 50 hertz refresh rate, 2.5 to 20 power. So it starts at 2.5 base magnification, goes up to 20 power. It's an AMOLED HD display, 1024 by 768 display. The field of view at 2.5 power, the base magnification, is 55 feet at 100 yards. They say the detection range is 2,515 yards. That's a long ways out there. As far as ID range, y'all, on a small animal, I'm going to say, when I say small animal, trying to tell the difference between a coyote and a small deer, the bottom, probably 600 yards plus. We are talking about ultra high resolution. So I'd say 600 plus yards on ID range. On large animals, it's going to be a long ways out there, y'all, a long ways. It does have a laser rangefinder in it. So the max laser rangefinder capability is 1,000 100 yards. It does have video and audio recording, multiple color palettes, picture-in-picture display, Wi-Fi streaming to the Stream Vision 2 app. It is IPX7 waterproof rating. The operating temperatures is minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to a blistering 122 degrees. A rechargeable battery pack. It has a dual battery system. It has an internal non-removable battery, and it does have a removable battery. It runs on an APS-3 removable. On the internal battery, you're going to get it almost 4 hours of runtime. On the removable battery, I got almost or a little over 3 hours. So just, all together, our bench test on the battery, 7 hours combined runtime on fully charged batteries. And the weight, almost 34 ounces. So let's talk about what's in the box. It's one thing I try to remember to do because it is important. Other than the cardboard box that comes in, you get this nice travel carry case, padded, fits in there perfect. I was saying on our podcast video, I think that there's got to be colleges and universities somewhere where they teach people how to pack cardboard boxes in such a way that you're never going to get it back in there the proper way. They can stuff so much stuff into a cardboard box, and you're never going to get it back in there the way it came to you, and it's not going to ever fit perfect again. But with that being said, you get a charging cradle base for the APS-3 battery. Obviously, you're going to get your USB-C cord. Now, this goes whether you plug it into the wall or if you're plugging it into a computer, you got that. I used this last night. It's pretty cool. This is the tripod little mount. So this screws down into the bottom of the unit, and then you can mount this on on a tripod. So you're not having to hold it. There's a lot of guys that like to glass for long periods of time, and they don't want to have to hold binoculars up in their hands. So it does mount to a tripod, and it does have a wall plug. So it's got all that cool stuff. I'm going to try to get this out of my way while I finish up this review. I may cut this part out. This is B-roll footage that nobody needs to see. I don't know. I probably might leave it in there. That's kind of how I roll. Anyway, so let's do a walk around. It does have, as you can see, we call them binoculars. It's really a biocular. It does have one thermal lens. Make sure I say this on the right side. One thermal lens, but you're looking through two eyes like a binocular. So call it thermal binocular. It's actually a biocular. The other side is the laser rangefinder. So that's where the laser rangefinder is housed. You got your thermal lens on this side. The button layout, 6-button layout on top, right here, easy to access with gloves on. Very user friendly in that way. Easily find the button that you need in the dark, no problem at all. Found that to be very good. The eyepieces, they adjust in or out. So depending on how wide your eyes are, you can move these out, you can move these in to make it more comfortable of a fit. You've got your removable battery right here on top. The button that you use to release the battery is right here in the middle on top, right there. I don't know if you can see that very well. Right there in the middle. I did talk about the tripod stand and the USB-C plug. That's where that goes in right there. These do not crank open like a regular set of binoculars. You may see, you're maybe used to making them wider and more narrow. These, again, just adjust right here by the eye cup. And then the focus adjustment is right here, this rubber ring right here around the objective lens. And then the eyepiece diopter focuses are up here by the eyepiece. I mean, that's about it. It does come with a nice padded neck strap. I mean, these are an awesome set of binoculars, thermal binoculars, but the best thing about it is 1024 resolution. Now, let's talk about the dislikes, and let's talk about the likes, and then we'll talk about who it might be good for. I'll start with the dislikes. As you can tell, these are not light. These are not small. It's not as small as a little handheld binocular. These are, as large as a set of binoculars. So if you're looking for something compact that you can slip into the back of your pocket, these are not it. But what I'll say is the people that are looking for a thermal binocular aren't doing so because they're small. So I think that is understandable that they're a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. Now, it does, when you're trying to carry this, let's see if I can do this on the move. When you're trying to carry these, and if you are a hunter that moves around a lot, like I'm stalking out to hogs, I'm walking out to the next set for coyote hunting. When you hang these around your neck, I don't know if you can see it very well, these things, and when you're walking, they're swinging. I carry my rifle on my chest. So these, for hunters on the move, they can be a little bit they can be just like that. They can be a little bit cumbersome on where to wear them, how to hold them when you're walking. They just kind of get in the way when you're scanning for coyotes and you get a coyote come in and you're like, okay, I'm going to throw this around my neck, so they're a little bit cumbersome as far as when you're on the move, when you're hunting on the move. If you're not a stationary hunter, give that some thought as well. The only other negative that people complain about, and it really has nothing to do with these, people get what we call night blindness. When they use a binocular, they raise the binocular up to their eye. When they remove that binocular from their eye, their pupil is dilated because the light's shining in their eye. When they remove it, their pupil is still dilated. It takes a few seconds to come back. So they're basically, you're blind in one eye for 5 to 10 seconds. With this, you're going to be blind in both eyes. That's about it. You're going to get night blindness in both eyes. It's going to take a little bit to come back when your eyes get reacclimated to the darkness and your pupils open back up. But that's just the way that's how all thermal, anything when you're sticking an eye or a bright light that close to your eye, it's going to be the case. So not their fault. It's just the way it is. Now, the likes, fantastic. I know you've been seeing the videos, fantastic picture image, 1024 resolution, the crazy long ID range. If you're trying to glass a long ways away, we'll talk about who it's good for, but this is fantastic. 1024 resolution at 2.5 base magnification. So when you jump up to 5 power, you're still holding 512 resolution. That's the advantage of being able to magnify the image and still get a long ways out there without losing a lot of picture image because of the digital magnification process. Also, when you're looking through both eyes at night, when you're looking through one eye at night like a binocular, it is what it is. When you're looking through both eyes with a thermal binocular, it's almost like you're at the movies, man. It's like you're looking at a big screen TV. It's hard to describe unless you actually see it, but it's very, very comfortable. We talk about all the time getting an optic that's very high quality, very good resolution, good picture image. And the reason, because when you're using a monocular or a binocular like this, you're going to be using this 95% of the time. You're only going to be looking through your scope a very small amount of time. So something like this that's very comfortable in the eye will give you a more pleasurable hunting experience. Your eyes won't get wore out. You won't get a headache. Your eyes aren't going to burn. Because the image is so crystal clear and the effect of looking through both eyes, it's just very comfortable. You'll be able to sit out there longer and not just feel eye fatigued because of the quality of the optic. So if you are also, if you hunt out of a deer stand at night, if you're a stationary hunter, or if you're a hiker or a camper or whatever, and you like to just sit and glass, these are going to be great for that. For somebody that's in a position where they're just not very mobile that often. The laser rangefinder, very accurate. I measured it all the way out several hundred yards. I didn't do it 1,100 yards. I just don't have that capability. But also, I would say the fit and finish. We talked about before the way they look, the way they're designed. The Pulsar, a lot of attention to detail. They've got it. Just from the eye cups moving in and out to the rubber ring around the focus adjustment, everything just feels tailor made. It's a European made optic and in very high quality. A lot of attention to detail. It's almost like they think of everything, and they do. They put a lot into it. You would expect that for an $8,000 optic, but this is almost half of what the other optic that's on the market that's over 640 resolution is at this time. So this came in quite under what we all expected the price to be, even at $8,000 for a 1024 resolution optic. We were expecting north of $10,000. So the fact that it came in at $8,000 and it's the design and the quality and the picture image, they really did a good job in keeping that in mind. As always with Pulsar stuff, the very user-friendly, the menu system is easy to learn. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that hate technology. I would not consider this, something very difficult to operate. Now you may say, well, Hans, you do this all day, every day. That's true. But there are some optics that I get in the menus like, man, this is so overcomplicated. Never had that experience with a Pulsar optic. The other thing we talked about, what's good about this is the layout, the button layout. The last thing I'm going to say, it's got a proximity sensor, which what it will do when you hang this thing around your neck, it will automatically go in standby mode to save battery time. Now, once you raise it up to your eye, it does have a proximity sensor in the middle there. So once you get it close to your face, they'll automatically click on. And that's a great tool for able to keep and extend your battery runtime even longer, so you're not just draining batteries while this thing's hanging around your neck. It's down here. It's in standby mode automatically. You raise it up, automatically clicks on. Fantastic. Great. Good idea. Again, attention to detail. I don't think that's it. Let's talk about who it's good for, and then we'll round it out. I kind of mentioned and alluded to stationary hunters versus hunters that are on the move. I do think it's great for these guys that are doing big game hunting and scouting out in the mountains, that sit on one hill or one mountain and they're looking across across a valley to the other side of the mountain and just glassing, or people that are hiking or camping and they just sit and watch for a long period of time. If you're hunting out of a deer stand, fantastic. That does not mean if you're a mobile hunter, you can't use these, but it's going to be a little bit more cumbersome than your small monocular. Just keep that in mind. This is for somebody that needs to ID a long ways away. When you pay for 1024 resolution, you are paying for distance and picture quality. So again, 1024 resolution at 2.5 power. Go to 5 power, you're still at 512 resolution. That's the advantage of this. So long range scouters, long range scanners, long range hunters, this is going to help you ID almost double the distance, I would say. Not quite double, but quite a bit further than a 640 resolution optic. So that's the good news about this. They are here, available at outdoorlegacygear.com. We've been pre-selling them. These things have been pre-sold fairly quickly. I mean, even though it's $8,000, people are chewing it up and they want it quick. So if you are looking to get this optic, we do have them. outdoorlegacygear.com, 877-350-1818. Give me a call. You can talk about the Merger XL50, or you can talk about something else, whatever you want to ask me about. I'd love to take your call, 877-350-1818, outdoorlegacygear.com. We've got more stuff to review. We got more videos to share. I've just been fighting like crazy to get all this done, and doing the podcast and doing the late night vision show, which we're doing 2 videos a week now, which is crazy, and very blessed over there, the success of that podcast. But we're still going to do our shorter reviews. I say that they're getting longer and longer, but thank you all for joining us. This has been the official review of the Pulsar Merger LRF XL50 or XL50 LRF, however they have it in there. These are the 1024 ultra high resolution thermal binoculars that you can get at Outdoor Legacy. Thank y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Stay tuned. Don't miss an episode. We've been doing this for a long time, y'all, several years, and the channel's grown like crazy, and really appreciate every one of you, and every one of you that I get to talk to, every one of you that I get to see and meet out in the public. It's always great to see people that watch the show, and really appreciate it. We'll see y'all next time right here on the HansETX YouTube channel. Y'all stay safe in the fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes.